He wrote... Do you like the sound of this?
That's crazy.
This is what it sounds like when I jump from the 4th floor and I fly the fuck out of here. Whew. Joe DeRosa Comedy has been limiting comments as if he's Drake. Now, listen, I don't allow Drake to limit comments. I go, what are you fucking so scared of? Somebody's going to write, you're a phony, your song sucked, this sucks, Drake sucks. I find it to be despicable. I think it should be one way or no way at all. Instagram shouldn't allow you to do things like this. People should be allowed to speak. You want to post all this nonsense? Well, we should be allowed to comment. It's becoming more normal and more accepted. You know, nobody really has outrage. Deleting comments is fine. You know, we watch people in real time on Instagram just delete any comment. On YouTube, Compound Media does this. And you're thinking, see, you're just sitting there refreshing, and as soon as a bad one comes in, delete, trying to rewrite history, rewrite the world, rewrite reality on what's going on. There was a time where if you were caught deleting a negative comment, okay, you were made fun of. You were a fool. You were caught. You were exposed. Nowadays, this is just normal behavior. Nobody says, I'm like the only person in the world saying boo about this. Joe DeRosa has his comments limited. Why? What is so tough, Joe? So I messaged him. Hey, Joe, doing the story for the New York News. Wondering why you have your IG comments set to limited. We're writing a piece on comedians and their fears. Thank you. No response. No response. The 39-year-old man who wants to constantly broadcast all of his nonsense to the people. He can't even respond to something like this. Too scared. It's too scary out there. What did we see? Oh, my God. It was so good. Somebody found it. Oh, it was from Joe DeRosa. It was like in the Bring Back group. Jules, see if you could find this on this. Oh, it's in this thread. Look at this. Check this out. This is so good. And somebody brought this to my attention. Here it is. Henry Spencer. Jules, do you know him? He's cool.
Love him.
Henry Spencer says he wrote a Denny-level article about deleting Twitter. It's pathetic. And this is that comedian Joe DeRosa. Surely you've seen him around. Let me read you an excerpt from the article. Gone was my anxiety about being smeared after he deleted Twitter. Gone was my anxiety about being smeared, my dismay about being shamed, and my foreboding thoughts about being bullied. I'd ended an abusive relationship. Wow.
And now you're under my control.
So that's really what's going on in the heads of these people? They're so bothered. They have dismay about being shamed, foreboding thoughts about being bullied, an abusive relationship, anxiety about being smeared. So this is what's going through all of the comedians' heads. This is really, really bothering them. And I have a giant problem with it. And I'll tell you why I have a problem with it, because no man is more smeared and harassed than me. You don't hear me whining. You don't hear me complaining. You don't see me deleting. You don't see me arguing. Go to my YouTube channel. Go look at that mess. Go look at the Joey Diaz clip alone. It's every bad thing a person could ever possibly think about me. And I'll tell you what, years and years and years ago, I've been doing this show for many years. Let's say since 2003, I've been doing the show. It took a very long time. I mean, it's almost like there were 3 different worlds throughout the course of this podcast. And world 1 was whatever it was. And world 2 is what I want to talk about. World 2 was, I remember anybody who talked shit about me. And this goes for anybody who was on the internet in like 2006. They talked shit about me. I mean, this shit you'd be so mad. You'd want to set the record straight. You'd be so pissed at the fucking guy. And I'll tell you, the only thing that gets you over that, and I say this time and time again, is hearing it over and over and over again. Now, years ago, this worked for me. I don't know why. It just clicked. And it was like a freedom. It was like, oh yeah, who cares what these people are saying? And then it actually clicked, and it really is like a complete freedom. I mean, they could literally say whatever they want about me, And it's not even like I sit there and see and go, oh, you son of a bitch. 2 years ago, I would look at it, even when I was free, and I'd go, ah, you son of a bitch. I don't even do the you son of a bitch anymore. It's honestly completely meaningless. So you're wondering why these guys, these 40-year-old guys, 39-year-old guys, they've been doing it as long as me. They've been in comedy. They've been hearing it. Why is it so impossible for them to evolve, to grow, to get over the name-calling stuff from people that don't know you? They don't know any. I mean, unless you're not actually confident in what you're doing, unless these things are true, unless these things are really bugging you. But imagine how stressful it would be to try to control all of that. And that's what these people are doing. They're trying to control it. They're deleting comments. I mean, for Compound Media to be deleting negative comments, what does that say about that whole clan? Chrissy Meyer, all these people who delete comments, who limit their comments, who go out of their way to control this whole narrative that, by the way, nobody gives a fuck about. Okay? Who did we see that was... I mean, you know...
Rhett and Link delete all your negative
Rhett and Link
comments.
are another one. They delete any negative comments. So if you ever go to a YouTube
and
page...
not even like a rude, abusive negative
No,
comment, just like a
anything.
question that's alluding to something that's not 100% in praise
Yeah,
of them.
because if you're going to delete one, you got to keep deleting all of them. And if that's your practice, you got to keep continuing with it, right? You can't just all of a sudden your YouTube comment section is clean and then one day it's bombarded with stuff. So they got to keep it up. You know, they can't let themselves free. They're so scared they're going to lose something. Nobody gives a shit. I mean, here's what they need to do. They need to go on Twitter and type in the words Selena Gomez or Justin Bieber. It's millions of people saying the nastiest, gnarliest things they could think of about these people. And then Joe DeRosa is going to limit his comments because 2 or 3 people said something mean about him. You have too much anxiety as Joe DeRosa with 28,000 people in the whole world knowing you. You can't exist, but Justin Bieber can? Off with his fucking head, guards! Metaphysically.